An anti-corruption journalist was killed on Monday in a car bombing in the country of Malta. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about this. It's actually a very important case. First of all, when it comes to journalism, but also when it comes to corruption. As you're going to see, it's connected with things that I've talked about before. The woman, the journalist who was killed, is Caruana Galizia. And what she was known for is she was known for using the Panama Papers to fight against her government's corruption. And in doing so, she actually made a lot of people in the government and in power very, very angry. Now, for those of you who might not remember, during the 2016 primaries, there was a leak of about 11.5 million documents from the internal database of the world's fourth largest offshore law firm. Now, this law firm is Muscat Fonseca. Now, the data from this leak was obtained by a German newspaper, I cannot say the name, and shared with media partners around the world, Guardian being one of them. Now, what these papers detailed is corruption from politicians, businessmen, and governments, basically using these companies to be able to do massive corruption. For example, money laundering is one of the things that they had to use these companies for. Now, this blogger, this journalist, used these papers to go after the powerful in her own country. Now, she was described by Politico as a, quote, one-woman WikiLeaks, and her blogs were a thorn in the side of both the establishment and underworld figures that hold sway in Europe's smallest member state. Now, according to The Guardian, her most recent revelations pointed the finger at Malta's Prime Minister, Joseph Muscat, and two of his closest aides, connecting offshore companies linked to the three men with the sale of Maltese passports and payments from the government of Azerbaijan. Now, so basically, big, corruption ring going on in the in Malta, apparently with, like I said, the Prime Minister. Now, what did the Prime Minister have to say after this woman was killed? In a statement, he condemned the barbaric attack, saying it asked the police to reach out to other countries' security services for help identifying the perpetrators. Quote, everyone knows that Ms. Caruana Galizia was a harsh critic of mine, said Muscat at a hastily convened press conference, both politically and personally. But nobody can justify this barbaric act in any way. Muscat announced later in Parliament that FBI officers were on their way to Malta to assist with the investigation, following his request for outside help from the U.S. government. Now, there's another person that she had went after as well. This is the Nationalist Party leader, Adrian Delia. Now, he claimed that the killing was linked to her reporting, saying, quote, a political murder took place today. What happened today is not an ordinary killing. Well, he's absolutely right in that respect. He continues, it is a consequence of the total collapse of the rule of law, which has been going on for the past 4 years. So that right there is classless politicizing of somebody's death. You want to know how not to respond? That, by saying, oh, yeah, her death doesn't have anything to do with people in power, which, again, we don't quite know, but certainly a possibility. I certainly seem to think so. But he's like, rule of law. It just so happens that prominent journalists get car bombed when there's no rule of law. Who knew? I'm not buying it. Like I said, this is somebody who went after the powerful, so I don't think this is a case of a random thug just going, hey, you know what? I'm going to go and car bomb this person. In fact, according to local media reports, Galicia filed a police report 15 days ago from yesterday, so 16 days ago, to say that she had been receiving death threats. Now, there's a lot of people in the media that receive death threats. I do. Lots of people do. Most are not taken seriously because a lot of them are ridiculous, poorly spelled, etc. But there are some that you do take seriously. And this one was obviously serious enough and specific enough to warrant a police report. Now, another thing that she set her sights on was was banks that facilitated money laundering to links between Malta's online gaming industry, and the mafia. So, again, there were very powerful groups that were obviously not very happy with her reporting, especially earlier this year during Malta's presidency of the European Union, when her revelations caused major concern in Brussels. MEPs openly called for Muscat's departure amid a growing scandal involving his wife, a Panamanian shell company, and alleged payments from the president of Azerbaijan's daughter. So there is corruption here, possible corruption, and she felt very, very strongly that Muscat was corrupt. Now, does that mean that he had her killed? No. The truth is, again, we don't necessarily know. We might not ever know. But I don't want to get conspiratorial or anything, but obviously somebody killed her. She didn't plant a bomb on her own car. It wasn't a random thug. Somebody, I think, connected to someone powerful who was impacted by her reporting of this corruption, wanted to shut her up. I think that was very clear. I mean, so, again, we don't know. We might possibly never know, especially if the person is connected, but that's just my personal belief there. But the other part of this, the other angle of this, is that people don't understand how dangerous it is to be a journalist out there. I mean, just to be somebody who's looking to uncover the truth. Sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. Well, there's a lot of people who'd rather keep things dark. I mean, and look, we see some of this stuff, this backlash against journalists everywhere. I mean, you've got the free press in many countries that gets shut down. And look, we have a form of backlash against our own media here in America. Now, look, I go after the media. I'm critical of the media. It's because I want them to do a better job. But there are people in America that criticize and go after the media because they don't want the media to do their job. They don't want the media to do any job but report what they want them to report. That's the problem that we have. And, you know, that's the problem I have with those people. I want to make the media better. I don't want to shut it down. I don't want to turn it into propaganda. I actually want to turn it into something that serves the people. But again, there are people out there that want to shut down actual journalism. Now, and look, in America, it's even gotten violent. Okay, not quite to the extent of what's happened in Malta, as there have been a lot of car bombings, and this just happened to be a journalist. But in America, you've still seen people get violent. Whether it be, the press getting body slammed or, choke slammed during Trump rallies. We had Ben Jacobs getting body slammed by a now sitting congressman. Death threats from people who support certain politicians or certain presidents. Going out to reporters. You had Katie Tour, a reporter that's gotten a lot of threats. And this is somebody who just covered the Trump campaign. But he would regularly point out, hey, look at this Katie Tur back there. Fake news, what a liar. And that's all for just her doing her job. So it is dangerous out there for journalists. And so we have to remember that violent rhetoric against journalism and a free press can be very dangerous for members of that free press. And also to remember that those in power could go to any length to silence the truth. So my overall message here is we have to remember to actually support journalists that are fighting against corruption. You may not agree with everything that they're right. I certainly don't agree with everything, but we have a free press, and that's one of the most vital institutions in our country, and we have to do everything we can to protect the members of that free press and to protect freedom of expression and to protect, the right for people to get the truth. The journalists, they go through a lot more than I think any of us realize. And in some cases like this, they might pay for it with their lives for that truth. So it's just a reminder of how important journalists and journalism is in this country. And we need to protect it. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.